Monday.
It's not Monday. Nice try.
It certainly is not. We even have a story about that.
We do have why it's not Monday. Hello, Curt and Jen, with our podcast here. We appreciate the follows and the likes and the loves and the thumbs up and the hearts and the all that stuff. So please continue to do that. And welcome back to me.
I know. I was just going to say that, Curt. Welcome home on your. I'm going to call it your surprise trip to California.
It was because I neglected to mention to Jen until like the day before. Oh yeah, we're going to Cali for the week.
And mind you, I'm already out of town at that point, so I can't bring my fancy mixer, nor do I have any guest hosts lined up.
Your fancy, that's right. You do need a fancy mixer, which I appreciate that and I know you called it the S show, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate you holding down the fort, and a fine job of holding down the fort too, because you did find fill-in guests for the other couple of shows.
Well, hot firefighter boyfriend Pat is always willing to step in for me, which timing didn't work on Monday, so that was a solo show. And Friday's episode, Curt, didn't even get posted. I tried 3 different times, and finally I'm like, I am missing the beach and boating right now. I'm done.
Goodbye.
I'm done. So we will post. I'm trying to decide. I think we'll just post 2 episodes today. I'll post Fridays and we'll post today's.
Who was the guest on Friday? Was it hot firefighter boyfriend Pat again?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was a good show. We learned about grapefruiting your man.
That's what it was. I wonder about that myself. So I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing that show, which, by the way, seeing the show, this is not a bad hair day for me. This is just a flat hair day. I don't like having flat hair days.
Well, Curt, you have plenty of time to fix your hair before we hop on the podcast.
It takes me probably twice as long to do my hair as it does for you to do yours.
Probably. Okay. All right. What do we have coming up on the show today?
Well, we already mentioned Mondays will always suck. We'll have more explanations about that. And also, we've always heard that you have to wait 30 minutes before you go swimming after you've eaten, right? So you don't cramp up. Yeah. We're going to find out that's actually necessary.
Okay. We also have the most loved American accent, which I cannot wait to find out what's number 1. Our question of the day was your family remedies. And pay attention to these.
Pay attention to this. Don't eat your yogurt. Go smear it on your windows instead.
You know what? This is a hack for something. And to me, it is not worth the cleanup.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get to that along with celebrity news. We usually don't do a lot of celeb news, but there's a couple things coming up we couldn't resist, including the next celebrity to get into the ring with Paul Logan, right? And also another minor celebrity who's diving into adult content for a good cause.
I mean, I don't know if I can get on board with this.
I think that I could. Well, that's going to make me sound like a pig, but we'll get to all that. It's all coming up. Yes. All right. Did you want to talk about Friday's episode? Are we good?
No, I don't. I already did. I just didn't get posted, and I apologize. And it was because we didn't have enough internet service in the middle of the desert.
It's tough when you're out there. So, but at least you got your sunning in and your swimming in and all that good stuff, and your boating
and my side-by-siding. And I called my trip Manson to Moses. We started in Manson. We ended in Moses Lake, and not by boat, by the way, because they're 2 lakes that are not connected. But we did a lot of boating and side-by-siding with family and friends. And Curt, my happy place is like with family and friends, hot sunshine, water, beaches. Yeah, so great.
By the way, I do love being on the water as well, but we did just sell my boat, right? Because it's expensive. My boat year round was in a slip, and so that cost US dollars. And
a lot of US dollars, not just some US dollars, many.
When you're, as they say in the radio biz, either on the beach or between gigs, that added up. So anyway, I had a friend that wanted to buy the boat, and that was great. It all worked out until while I was gone this last week in California, I get a text saying, hey, when you push down on the throttle, the boat's supposed to go fast, right? And also, when does the odor go away? And I'm like, this, I think, was a joke, by the way. Because right away I'm like, oh crap, something went, and the whole time I was worried. You sell things to your friends, you're like,
I don't know why you did that, because I feel like you're on the hook now for everything that might go wrong. And I hope you have some kind of contract that's like, we're done with this. Like I'll help you with like things you don't know about the boat, but I'm not paying more money to fix it before I sell it.
Well, it's a good friend, and I'd like to keep it that way. So we'll see. But it turns out I think it was just a joke. Them trying to make me panic and paranoid and stuff, which worked. Thank you very much. But the California trip was, I'm going to say, transformative. I met some people that really had an effect on me. One person in particular who
Ooh.
lives a very I want to keep names out of this because he would not even want me to be talking about this. But how about this? I would say this person, and not in a biblical sense, but the way they live their life is very much like Jesus. Like this is a person who forages for food it lives on Hawaii most of the time, and has almost no money, but always manages to forage for food that they eat. You know, goes fishing to catch the food that they eat. The one of the issues is it's not an issue for him, but it's an issue for the family. Is rarely wears shoes, goes barefoot most everywhere, and they give him shoes. But then if he's out walking about and he sees somebody else without shoes, he will give his shoes to that person. His whole attitude towards life is everybody else needs these things more than I do. Which is another concern about money as well, because his mother will give him money every now and again for basic necessities, and he'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, I gave that $100 to a person who needed it." So but his life is fine. I mean, it's you'd say, "Oh, this is going to seem like a person who's miserable," and was the most serene, at peace person I've ever met in my life, and it was really, it was something to see. And so I'm not going to start doing that.
I was just going to ask you that.
But it made me reassess all of this stuff that we have in our lives, and how unnecessary most of it is. And this is not, I'm not going to, make major adjustments in my life. It really was just kind of like, wow, this person is making that happen and living the absolute exact life that he wants to live. And he fills his days with, watering the plants, and he goes around, he collects, bird feathers. He sees that there's symbolism, and there's, I guess I'm going to say, power in the animals on the planet, and so he collects bird feathers as a, he almost like the Native Americans do. He lives very much a life like that, but you don't see that anymore. You know what I mean?
Was your wife was with you, right?
Yes, this was and even as there was they were like, we'd like you to meet this person, but we don't know if he's going to show up, because it'd be the kind of thing where he might say, oh yeah, I'll try to stop by for dinner if I can, but then you find out instead he decided to go for a 4-day vision quest, which that's a serious thing for him. For 4 days he will not eat or drink, and go out into the woods, and I don't know enough about it to explain it properly, other than it was really an amazing story and an amazing person to meet.
I love that.
It was really something, and so that was cool. And the other big story that happened when we were gone was another friend's mother, who is an elderly person in her 80s, always had this baseball card collection from her late husband. All right. So she's got these baseball cards, and had mentioned on occasion, well, yeah, one day I'll sell some of those baseball cards, and, maybe that can help me with my retirement. Right. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, lady. Right. Who doesn't have a baseball card collection? So since she's not good at using the internet and stuff like that, she asked me if I would research some of these baseball cards from the 60s and 50s to find out if there was any value to it. And she's like, this one in particular, somebody told me they thought would be pretty valuable. Okay. And they had it under, in plastic, like, in not just like plastic wrap, but there's like two pieces of,
like plexiglass kind of plastic.
Yeah, you've seen that, how they preserve cards.
Sure. Uh-huh.
So I type in the information for this card, and it's got the number, the tops card number on it, whatever it was, 879. I don't remember what it was. And I type that in, and the last one of these cards that sold for $600,000.
Holy crap! Are you kidding me?
And so I'm looking at this going, there's no way. And so I did some more research on it, and it turns out there were only 4 of these baseball cards ever made.
And she has one of them.
Yeah. And so I'm like, if I was holding $600,000 in my hand, I'd be super careful with it. She just like sort of tossed me the card or whatever, and I'm like, okay, I'll get to it, and they just set it on the table. So I'm gonna do some more research to find out, but there is another one available right now on and again, it's the internet, so you have to be cautious, right? There is one up right now for over $1 million. So
Shut your mouth.
of course, it's only going to sell if you can find the right buyer. So
Right.
this is not something I'm just going to put up on, hey, on eBay, here's a baseball card. What do you think this is worth?
You got to put
But
it
you
on some kind of baseball collectors, whatever.
right, or a high-end auction or something like that. But the fact that I was holding this thing, and I even double checked it. I was like, I double checked the number and the name and everything about it, and they pulled up a picture of that exact card, and it said, sold in 2017 for $600,000.
Who was it? Can you share any of
I
that?
don't want to talk about it any more than that because I'm so nervous about this. I don't want to blow it, but
Is it someone we know? Like if you said the name, we'd know it?
probably yes.
Okay.
But and that was one card of like 1,000 that she has. So I'm wondering, how many other ones in there are. I mean, even if they're worth $1,000 or $500 or
Adds up.
yeah. So that's my chore for the next the immediate future is to find out the value of these cards. I could not believe it because the whole time she was saying, "Well, I think some of these are valuable. Maybe it could help with my retirement." It's like, okay, great.
So this is one of your friends who lives in California, her mom.
Friend's mom, yeah. So and she's is clearly well into retirement, and could use who couldn't use an extra 600 grand? That's
Or
my
a
question
million, or
there.
a cool million.
Wow. So I will let you know if I find anything else more out about that. And I apologize for being vague, but it seems like it's such a massive amount of money. I don't want to do anything. Somebody's going to say,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, he's got the whatever Ferguson Jenkins, from 1962." Um, and I don't have it in my possession, by the way. It is still with her. So
Awesome. Cool.
wow. Anyway,
Glad you had a good trip. Welcome home.
it was an amazing trip. So sorry, I took up a lot of time with that story. I apologize for that.
Okay.
But okay, so it's time to play this thing here, I guess. We got to do that. Mondays. People think that Mondays suck. And it turns out there was a study done, some research done. It says even after you're retired, so that's what led into this, Mondays still suck.
That's not something to look forward to, but at least
Well,
you don't have to
researchers
do
tested.
much.
This was a pretty detailed test. They tested people's hair. They took hair samples to
Yeah.
see how much of the stress hormone cortisol they'd been producing. Right.
Oh.
The people who said Mondays were the most stressful day of the week had 23% more cortisol coursing through their veins. So they had more people that felt that Monday was the worst day of the week. The crazy part, it was even true for people who had already retired. They still think Monday sucks. And they had the extra cortisol, right? I guess
Yeah.
the point is, if you're thinking your entire life, you know what, once I'm retired, every day is going to be glorious. It turns out that Mondays will still suck.
But it sounds like it's literally in your head, like the cortisol growing out of your head.
Isn't that something?
Just switch.
So,
You just got to switch your thinking on Mondays, or switch your vacation so you're on vacation on Mondays when you're
or
retired,
shave your head.
or shave your head.
Nah.
Ooh,
What's the deal with this one, Jen?
This is perfect for the summertime. Do you really need to wait 30 minutes to swim after you eat?
And you wonder about this because growing up, you're told a lot of things by your parents that you're like, I would never swallow my chewing gum because it was going to stay in my stomach for, I believe it was 12 years.
Oh, I think my mom told me it was longer than that. And if you swallowed a seed, it would grow in your stomach.
Exactly. So this is another one you wonder about. Do you really need to wait 30 minutes after you've eaten to go for a swim?
Because they say that you'll cramp up, like, right?
Right.
Because you get I don't even know how that even played out in people's heads, but is it true? No, not at all. It's just another thing our parents did to instill a deep level of anxiety in us.
What was this? So this is from the Scouting for Boys book.
Well, this is where it was first seen.
Yes, the Boy Scout manual from 1908 said, there's a quote from it. It says, never bathe in deep water very soon after a meal. It is very likely to cause a cramp, which doubles you up. So, quote, so you will get drowned.
No, not even will. So you get drowned.
Right. But how many other things from 1908 have we found not so true, or that
So
era?
many things. Okay, so a physician, this is recently,
Hmm.
who was a competitive swimmer in high school, spoke out about the what hypocrisy
Hmm.
of this claim.
Yeah, because parents were encouraging their kids to eat before, parents of athletes, we should say, were encouraging their kids to eat before playing soccer to prevent cramps. And so this is
Oh,
according to this
right.
physician.
Yeah, I didn't even think of putting those two together. Duh.
He said, this physician said, I could physically tell the difference if I had two pieces of toast and then went and swam an hour at 6 o'clock a.m. in the high school versus if I didn't eat it, I'd be dragging. So according to this, eating before swimming gives you that extra boost of energy and it's good.
Okay, good. What is this?
Not only is it not bad, this guy's like, actually, you should, if you want to swim competitively, you should eat before you swim.
Okay, back in 2011, the American Red Cross Scientific Advisory Committee concluded that, quote, eating before swimming is not a contributing risk for drowning and can be dismissed as a myth.
End
Boom.
of story?
End of story.
Okay, go ahead and eat before you swim then, I guess.
Good day, sunshine. Good day, sunshine.
Good song, Curt Cruz. I like that one.
Thank you, Jen Pirak. This is a heat hack, which is important because, well, it's been hot.
This is bologna slices. I'm telling you what.
They're saying this is a researcher in the UK, has found you can keep your home more than 6 degrees cooler, all right, by simply covering your windows in yogurt. The yogurt forms
Serious.
a thin film on the window itself, then reflects some of the incoming solar radiation due to its light color, so less heat passes through.
The scientists used a supermarket brand of Greek yogurt that has a fat percentage of about 10%. And we got to assume that it's plain flavored, or you get, actually, you could get a 2-for-1. You could get smelly yummies by using strawberries or peach or something.
Uh, this is this, I don't know. And we'll jump down to where it says that they didn't say what inspired the idea of using yogurt of all things, because you can buy film that you put on your window that's supposed to help with keeping it cool, right? These people apparently were looking for low cost ways to keep things cool. And they also claim it isn't messy. In fact, you can keep it on for a while.
I don't get that, how it's not messy. First of all, applying it's going to be messy. Second of all, when it's time for cleanup, no thank you.
Well, this indicates that if there's a heavy rain, it can stay on for a while as long as there isn't a heavy rain. So I guess I was thinking you'd smear the yogurt on the interior of the window, but according to this, you put it on the outside, and it's simple to wash off with a cloth and water. It also, they say, has not been known to attract insects and other pests. There's another thought.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think of that part, how it's going to like attract bees and flies and all the nasties.
Well, it says it won't do that.
I mean, no way. And it says if it does, the cleanup is a simple washcloth with water on it to wash it off. Which, here's the thing about that: how many people actually wash their windows?
Not me.
Me either.
Yeah, we're gonna say BS and move on.
Well, what did they say? There's a slightly less eccentric option, and that is to put tinfoil on your windows. Okay.
The neighbors aren't going to notice and say, what a weirdo that person is, right?
I mean, Costco sells both yogurt in big quantities and foil, so pick your pleasure.
If you decide to do this, let us know how it works for you, okay? Right. You know what? We're really tying these all together nicely, because now we're on to family remedies, which somebody might say, put yogurt on your window.
They're not. What are your family remedies for like when someone's sick or something? So Nicole said hot tea with drops of peppermint or thieves oil for a cold or sore throat. And then there was a conversation about what's thieves oil, and it's like an essential oil that you can buy through an.
And I had heard a lot of, hot tea, I think is pretty common for people to say,
Yeah.
Kate says, my grandmother swore by blackberry brandy.
Okay.
For a number of things, I imagine.
John said for leg cramps, a tablespoon of mustard, which totally works, he says.
Lily, acupressure with a side of Asian guilt. Okay. Lily.
Freaking Lily, I love her.
Phil said mother's choice was always Bactine. Oh, and what is that word? Corosodin? I don't know.
Either of those things are. Do you?
Yeah, well, Bactine is not that doesn't sound like a family remedy. Isn't that the spray that you put on cuts and abrasions and stuff? Bactine?
I don't know. I've never heard of that before. I've never used it. Meredy said hot toddy, whiskey, honey, and lemon. Drink it down and hop into bed under the covers. You'll sweat out the disease.
That might be a good one. Vernon for leg cramps. Jameson whiskey and pickle juice. That's what's that called?
Pickleback.
Yeah. Cramps go away or you pass out. Either way, sleep is on the way.
Okay. Jody said a bar of soap under the sheets for restless legs. What?
No, I that happens to me sometimes.
Do it, Curt. Try a bar of soap. Do you have a bar of soap?
So you just put a bar of soap under the sheet as you sleep and it'll cure the restless leg syndrome.
I mean, that's what Jody's saying, but why don't you message her, like reply to this post and ask her.
Give it a shot. Okay.
Yeah.
Debbie says ginger chews for nausea.
Yeah, well, that's a good one. They say that ginger helps an upset stomach.
Okay.
Peggy said gargling with salt water for a sore throat. Yes.
I've heard about that one.
I have to, yeah. And Lori, okay, our friend Lori, who's a health coach, she knows she knows so many things about natural remedies. She's like, how many can I list? First 3 of a million would be sleep, herbal tea, and a hug.
The benefits of hugs are not researched enough because that's a good one.
Yeah.
Shelly says tea and honey. Patrick says tequila.
He lives in Mexico, by the way.
Maybe that has something to do with it. Yeah. And finally, Laura also goes with the hot toddy without the bourbon or whiskey, but with extra honey.
Wait, then wait, I have to go back up to the hot toddy recipe. What would it be then? Whiskey, honey, and lemon. So honey and lemon with tea. Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Sounds like there could be something to that.
No, not tea, because hot toddy is just hot whiskey, honey, and lemon. So you take out the whiskey, so it's lemon and honey.
Honey.
Huh, okay.
Drink it up.
I like it. I like those little, here's what my family's always done, and it works so well. Do you have one?
No, nothing particular. I mean, what are the standard things like chicken noodle soup and like the person that's talking about
soda crackers,
herbal tea and stuff like that. So nothing that hasn't been on this list. But
my mother-in-law, I talked about this on Friday when we did the podcast, but no one heard it. That my mother-in-law had this tea recipe, and I ended up calling it Feel Better tea. Like whenever I was sick, I'm like, I need some Feel Better tea, and it was like orange juice concentrate, fresh lemon juice, red zinger tea, honey. It was like it helped. There you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? Even if it's just in your head, you're like, I drank this and now I think it's going to help. And maybe that, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm saying
a mental thing. Yeah.
Exactly. It gets into your head. So either way, if it fixes the problem, then why not?
Yep. The most loved American accent.
Let's hold off before we say what it is, because we have a list not only of the most loved American accent, but also the top, I don't know, 10, give or take. And several on that list, I'm like, no, this cannot be most loved American accent.
Okay.
Right. Because, in what we used to do in radio, in broadcasting rather, sometimes newscasters and whatever, if they're from a certain part of the country, say it is the deep South or whatever, they will work to lose the accent, right? So that they have I guess to say quote unquote no accent, or I think what they used to refer to as a Midwest accent, which is, I guess no accent. But we have the list here according to who did this.
It doesn't even say who did this.
There's a new list of most loved regional accents across America. You want to go with the top one first, or go through?
No, let's start with how many do we have? Do we have 10?
Let's just do the top 5, because
top five.
Number 5 is the Maine accent, which I think is similar to Boston and or Rhode Island.
Okay, so yeah.
Northeast, I guess.
Okay.
Number 4 is a tie between the Florida accent and Pacific Northwest accent.
I've always heard we don't have an accent here.
Exactly. But I suppose if you're, in Florida, they can pick it. I recognize you. You're in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, you know what's funny is Pat's middle son Michael has a new girlfriend, Edith, and she was on the trip with us. And just last night when we got back, she's like, "You have an accent, Jen." I'm like, "What? No, I don't. No, I don't."
What have I noticed when I came here? And I don't know if this is everybody, but
Washington?
no, it was like the word say
Beg.
ping, P-I-N-G, all right?
Bing?
Or bing or sing.
Sing?
To me, it sounded like a lot of people were, if you're spelling it, it would be P-E-E-N-G, ping,
Sing.
or sing, or, oh, I'm all tingly. Yeah, and I don't know if that was just one person that I used to co-host the show with back in the day, Kareen, check that, go look that up on Bing. So, but other than that, I've not noticed anything I would call to be a Northwest accent. Number 3 on the list, the Mississippi accent. And again, I don't know what the difference would be between Mississippi and Alabama and Georgia. Number 2, the Long Island accent. About a third of people say that they have a positive reaction to that.
Ooh, really? That surprises me, actually.
Which who was I talking about with this? It was a doctor, and he had that really thick New York accent. So it was just hard. I think it would be hard for me to take him seriously if he's like, you got a problem with your heart. We're gonna have to,
I want to know
whatever.
the difference between that accent and the Maine accent, the northeastern one that you talked about.
I think that's a little, I don't know, I don't know what to use the word, classier, I guess, less, because if you talk with people in England, they know the different accents between different cities, and this one is like a lower class accent, and this one is an upper class. So, and that's why this is so surprising. I'll let you go ahead and do it, Jen. The number 1 most loved regional accent from America.
It's Southern Louisiana's Cajun accent. That was number 1. Channing Tatum uses it for Gambit in Deadpool and Wolverine.
33% of people, over a third, have a positive reaction to it. I can't understand that. That Cajun accent. That's where I'm not even going to try to do it.
I want you to try, because you're a dude, and dudes try to mimic other people.
Let me think if I was going to say it's in my opinion, it's very well. If you watch, what was the movie? It was the remake, not the most recent one, but and I know people right now are saying it to themselves. Jumanji. They met a guy and he's like, it's a southern accent. They talk like this, and they start to go down over there. You got to go to the store down over there. It's really and the way that I'm doing it is more easy to understand than the way I've heard people do it.
Really?
Yeah, you want to go right down the store right there. You got to pick up a horse.
Okay.
What? Go right that store there. I got to pick up a horse. So that apparently is the most popular. What was it? Yeah.
I don't know.
Do we disagree?
I like the Southern accent the most. So I don't know if that would be Louisiana then.
You mean like a Southern Belle talk
like a Southern
that?
Belle, yeah.
Okay. All right. Onward, right?
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe. Is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe.
I know, it was kind of deep for a choice on a Maroon 5 song. Sorry.
Adam Levine's Dupe song.
Yeah. I still think that's their best song. It was their first single, and I still think it's their best song. Wow. Celebrity news about Adam Levine. Go, Jen. Let's hear about this.
I just want to say we usually don't do a lot of celebrity news, but these are the ones like we said at the beginning of the show, like we couldn't resist. So Adam Levine, this is why he won't get any more tattoos, because his body is covered in tattoos. But at age 46, he's done getting inked, and why? He can't take the pain anymore. He said, quote, "I've softened. Now when I get a tattoo, I'm like, this hurts so badly. Like, what's wrong? We're done. I don't want to do this anymore." He added to that quote, "I covered my sleeve with another sleeve." Who even does that? What's wrong with me? Psychotic.
I thought it was because he was out of room on his body for any more tattoos.
Like, why would you ink over your sleeves? Like, doesn't it get like, it's just all like blobby?
No idea. That as a non-tattooer, tattoo haver.
Okay, you can take this next story.
Yeah, remember Lily, the AT&T girl? Of course, we all recognize her from the AT&T
I
commercials
had
for
to look
several
her
years.
up because I didn't remember what she looked like. She's darling.
Yeah, well, her name is actually Milana Vayntrub, if I'm saying that right. Milana Vayntrub. I believe she is from Ukraine or something originally.
I think so.
She decided, because you've all heard about OnlyFans and stuff like that, she decided that she was going to sell flirty photos. I don't think they're naked photos. I think she is going to sell flirty photos in order to raise money for philanthropy. In this case, there was a mother who had lost everything in the Los Angeles wildfires that she wanted to help out with. So she went on and decided, you know what, I'll put up some cute pictures of myself, maybe, I don't know, less clothed than usual. I'm not sure, but she's using the money, and unlike OnlyFans people, she's using the money to help out this person that lost their house in the wildfires.
Wait, okay, so it's not on OnlyFans that she's going on. She's going on Only Philanthropy, which is a cheeky donation platform that flips the script on fundraising.
Yeah.
We made exclusive content for real world impact. We raise money for urgent causes quickly by offering generous supporters something a little flirty, a little silly, and with a whole lot of heart. The idea is simple. What you see is what you get.
Mm-hmm. And she said, if I could use a male gaze to fight the blaze, why not? And she said it's actually working. So
okay, so it's not OnlyFans. That's what I was thinking it was going to be.
No, something altogether different.
Only Philanthropy, which is awesome.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. I know the song doesn't apply, but I wanted something different.
Okay.
Kind of applies. Jelly Roll.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, actually, and seen. Did you watch the video that went with the story, Curt?
By the way, I'd like to make reference back to the beginning of the show when I called the guy Paul Logan, because he's Logan Paul, and it just occurred to me that I read it in the wrong order.
I put it wrong, didn't I?
Maybe so. I was just reading it. So anyway, Logan Paul is this guy that keeps on saying, I'm going to wrestle so-and-so. I'm going to wrestle so-and-so. And guess who's wrestling next?
Who did he wrestle last? That was the big thing. And it blew up the internet. It blew up.
Or did he fight Mike Tyson? Something like that? Or I think he fought a retired boxer. Anyway, that's what he does.
Okay. So what happened is a Jelly Roll was singing his song Liar, right before SmackDown on a Friday night, right before
the
SmackDown.
WWE, right.
And then Logan Paul comes out and interrupts his song and talks all this smack about how disgraceful it is that Jelly Roll's coming into this ring that on the stage that was built by wrestlers, and now he's gonna wrestle Jelly Roll. I mean, it's so dumb to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, Logan Paul is also, I'm disgusted by celebrities' influence and personalities. You want to classify them as coming into our industry, leeching off our success on a platform that we have built. I didn't think he was a wrestler. I thought he was like an internet star that went into boxing or went into wrestling.
I did too. Are you talking about Logan Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So he's one. Who is he to say I'm disgusted by these celebrities doing this? You know that, because it appears as much as I know, that's what he did.
So during this whole he interrupted the song and then was talking all this smack, and then one wrestler came out, Randy Orton came out to confront Logan Paul. Then another wrestler, Drew McIntyre, attacked the other guy from behind, the Orton guy from behind. I mean, the crowd's going nuts, right? Because this is what they love so much. The long story short is that Logan and Jelly Roll are going to go at it at a WWE SummerSlam, which goes down August 2nd and 3rd.
I'm going to go ahead and say it here. Wrestling fans may not agree, but it's all staged. Staged.
Do you appreciate the art in it though? Because although it's staged, they have a lot of I don't even know what to call it, acrobatics that look like it could really hurt your body.
Well, WWE is different. This is not the old stuff you used to watch on TNT. You know, that was pretty fake. So let me retract that it's not. They're actually hurting each other. So I want to retract that statement, because this is not the same. But I do have a feeling that this is all planned. Let's put it that way. There was no, Jelly Roll accidentally went up on the stage and whatever, because it sounds like there's going to be a lot of dollars to be made.
Of course there are. That's why they're doing it. Duh.
All right. Yes, I used that twice.
Okay, tell me all the things because it's National Mac and Cheese Day.
So on National Mac and Cheese Day, we have an actual mac and cheese story. Chances are there's someone in your house who will put up a big fight to have mac and cheese for every meal. That's, I do enjoy the mac and cheese, although it can't be the powdered cheese that you add water to. It's got to be the actual, whatever it is, Velveeta.
Pat Curran, hot firefighter boyfriend Pat, loves a good mac and cheese.
86% of Americans say mac and cheese is an adult food, not just for kids. About half of people eat macaroni and cheese weekly. And here's where the passion is real. More than half of people say they would give up coffee or social media before giving up macaroni and cheese.
Over half of people? Are you kidding me?
I'm probably over half of macaroni lovers. Let's just put it that way. Mac and cheese lovers. Not over half of all people. That can't be right.
Would you love mac and cheese. Would you give up that before coffee?
No. Wait.
Coffee before
No, I would I would keep coffee and social media before giving up mac and cheese. Maybe social media could go, but I don't love it that much. You?
No. No.
No.
I don't even like social media that much, but I don't like mac and cheese
that much either.
I'd give up my yummy sugar with some coffee drink.
About a third of people say mac and cheese is their top comfort food. So there's that as well. Here we go.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What?
Do you eat macaroni and cheese with a fork or a spoon?
If I plan ahead, I'll have a spoon. If I'm at the table and they bring up mac and cheese and I just have a fork, then it's a fork.
Okay, so you don't care.
Nah.
75% of people eat it with a fork. Okay, our question of the day, the answer on social media, we'll post it on Facebook, is what are you a total sucker over?
My puppies.
Yes, that is 100% true for Curt Cruz.
They have both myself and Dana wrapped around their little paw like you wouldn't believe. What are you a total sucker for? A total sucker over?
That's what we want to know. We're going to post it. We want your answers. We'll talk about it Wednesday when we do a new episode, which we do every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the Curt and Jen podcast.
Thank you so much for listening every time and for liking, loving, supporting in any way possible. We appreciate that.
Until Wednesday, make good choices, find joy, spread kindness, and laugh because it's good for the soul. Have a great day.